Hello, good day to everyone. My name is Euphemia, aka Sugar.
And I'm Beverly, aka UK Fluffy Chick, and together we are the founders of Support a Sis-Star Network. And today we have with us Milly. Hi, Milly.
Hi,
Hello,
hi
Milly.
everybody. Hi everybody. I'm Milly.
Right, and Milly's here with us this evening to share, her venture and what it is. But before we get to find out what her venture is, Milly, just tell us a little something about yourself.
Right. So I'm Milly. I currently live in Surrey, Surrey,
Oh,
southwest
really?
of England. Do you still, or did you used to?
No, I still do. That's where I am right now.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. So I'm is it southeast? Is it? I don't know.
Southwest London.
Somewhere there, right? And
yeah.
Yes, I'm a mother of a 27-year-old young, handsome man. I have to add that. And so that is my first job, as a mother. And then also I've worked in the health and social care industry for over 20 years now. That's in the UK. And I'm a social work student at the moment, which I put on hold last year, but I'm back in September. And I'm also a digital online business owner. And so that's probably what I'd really like to talk about, because that is where I have been able to birth my dream, which is really something that I'm really passionate about.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Excellent. Wow, that's a lot to take in one
Isn't it?
go.
Don't know which section to cut the cake and cheer off.
Exactly.
Big cake.
So,
yeah.
We're both looking at each other.
I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start.
Right.
Yeah, you can carry on.
Right. And the other thing that I forgot to say, if you think that is a lot to take in, I also love cooking. And so cooking is part of this whole journey. Yeah. And yes, so you will hear a little bit more about the cooking. Everything will fall into place.
Okay.
They all intertwine.
Okay.
You see, now you've whet our appetite, Milly.
There you go.
When it comes to talking about food,
you see, I got a bit closer to the screen, like.
I just thought I'd drop that in just in case, might get you excited.
Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
You have definitely done it. So you've done a journey through the health and social care, and you've been in it for over 20 years. You've even got to be a social worker student, and you do this digital online owner sort of business, and you're intertwining cooking in between there. Okay. All right. So there's, as we said, that was a lot to digest, but tell us, how did you get into this digital online business?
Okay. So obviously we all experienced COVID, and we all experienced COVID in different ways. For myself, at the time, I worked as a social care assistant, and I was based in a hospital, and my role was to go and assess people that had had their lifetime changes through perhaps illnesses or maybe falls or whatever it is. So I would go and have an assessment, and then I'd put packages of care in place so that would support them to come away from the hospital. So obviously that meant having very close contact with people. And in 2020, around March time, COVID was there, but not many people knew about it at the time. So obviously I went about my business as usual, had an assessment. This lovely young man that had hearing issues. So obviously you've got to get a bit closer if you're talking to them so that they can hear you. And then that was that. And actually, by the time I was leaving there, I was meant to be going to church in the evening because it was a weekend. And I just felt really tired. I was just like, oh gosh, I don't think I'm going to make it. And went home, slept. And the next day, because at the time we were working from home as well. So my team was working from home. The odd occasions we'd go and do a hospital visit. So anyway, I woke up that morning and I was just feeling a bit tired and kind of like having malaria symptoms. And I couldn't even get ready for work. Obviously, we used to have like a Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't get to that. Wow. So I remember one of my team colleagues, the admin staff, phoning me to say, oh, Milly, are you okay? Because we haven't seen you in the meeting. And I said, oh my gosh, I actually sat in the bath because I was shivering and I fell asleep there. Thankfully, my phone was in the bathroom with me. So yeah, so that's how it all started. Anyway, long story short, I was among the first people to catch COVID. So I isolated, did all the ginger, lemon, honey, the African style way. And it did work, it worked. And within a week, I was okay. But obviously we didn't go back to work. And I was just happy and carrying on. We didn't go back to how we used to work. It changed. So we were basically working from home most of the times. Anyway, I went about my life as usual. And obviously, because I worked for the local authorities, I worked for Surrey County Council. And they were really getting short-staffed because obviously when people get COVID, you have to isolate. And some people, you know, it was really, really serious.
Very confusing.
So I remember, I remember them sending out an email to say, for people that have experience working with young people, could you volunteer to help in the residential setting? And obviously I did have experience, lots of experience working with young people. And so I offered to do that. So that's how I came about supporting a young person who obviously was in care. And sadly, as a result of that, I think I supported her for 2-3 days. There was an incident where she attacked me. So, and that was quite serious. And then that led from one thing to another, and then ended up me having, then I discovered I had long COVID symptoms as well in the end. So basically, to cut the long story short, I had a whole year whereby I was actually just at home. I couldn't work. I was experiencing brain fog, fatigue, just to name it. And obviously self-esteem issues. It's just like awful. I mean, long COVID is just really like,
miserable.
Miserable. Yeah, so obviously in the process, that meant that I wasn't able to continue with my studies. I put it on hold. Thankfully, my university are really, really supportive. I go to Kingston University. And then I also couldn't work. My managers really were supportive. They tried to bring me in. They said, just come in for a few hours if that's all you can do. But because I needed to talk to people, I needed to assess people, you needed to think. And I just said to them, I can't. I literally one morning went to work and I left crying. I said, I cannot do this. And I thought my life had come to an end. So came back home so I was mainly at home, sitting down, feeling sorry for myself. My life has come to an end. Obviously, I can't do university. At that time, I wasn't seeing me now. I was just thinking that's it.
Yeah.
So feeling sorry for myself and then looking at Facebook and looking at people's lives, which were obviously better than mine. And I'm like, and praying and stuff like that. And then I came across this website, and it was of a lady who's from Kenya. And she was like, oh, are you tired of this 9 to 5, being away from your family and all the shebang that comes with it? And so that's actually me. And right now, I can't even do that job. So what have you got in store? And so she basically said, click this link, get to know a bit more about it. And I did. I looked at the website and I thought, oh, this looks good. And then they were like, oh, then you need to pay $149. And I thought, oh, this is one of them scams, like forget it. You know,
Mhm.
at the moment, I'm not even working. The money that I've got, I need to be saving that to survive for who knows how long. And they want my $149. They can forget it. And I actually put it aside. But the good thing is that I remained friends on Facebook with this lady. And so I used to keep watching her live videos. I used to see her interviewing people. And one day, I just saw this interview with this lady, also Kenyan, and her story. And also she said, you know, she was a Christian. So I was able to resonate with that, because sometimes you don't know what you're getting yourself into, because when it's too good to be true, you've got to be careful. Well, that's what I think anyway. And so when she was interviewed and people were like, okay, so how did you get here? And the first thing was like, oh, God, I thank God for that. And everything else followed. And I was like, right, you've got my attention. And then after that, that was everything behind me. And I decided to now pay them $149, which was now 4 months later, by the way. And so that was last year, September. And I must admit, my life has never been the same. It has basically not been the same. I've been able to really tap into my passion, which obviously main passion is young people in care. And what I've always wanted to do is to support them with accommodation when they leave the care system. Because when I was working with young people, we found that when they get to 18, it's goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. See you later.
Yeah.
There's so much investment when they are in care. And then once they hit 18, bye.
It just stops.
These young people, majority have experienced a lot of traumatic events growing up. That's why they end up in care. So they're not always ready at 18 to then go and live on their own.
Right.
And I just remembered myself at that age. I actually wasn't ready. I was still with my mom. You know? And actually, in my culture, you leave your parents' house when you get married, you know? So anyway, forget the culture and everything. I just thought to myself, oh, it's quite difficult. And you get to get attached to these young people, and then they're going away, they're suffering, you're hearing they're suffering. So one of the things I wanted to do was to provide that for them. But then again, what I was finding was, if you decide to go and lease a property or rent a property, and then you say that, oh, the purpose of the business is to have young people in care, you can forget it.
Yeah.
You will not get anything.
That's like, is that through like private landlords, you're saying?
I mean, if you're lucky with the private landlords, you'll get somewhere. But most of it, like estate agents, it's a really, really tough. Yes, because and you can't really blame them, because in some cases there's been issues, but at the same time, unfortunately, everyone else has now been stigmatized. Like, it's just like a child in care is going to do this and going to do that, which is really sad. So what I'm doing, thank God for that, is that I'm working on having a portfolio of properties, which obviously I wouldn't have to then go to landlords to ask to rent their property. It will be mine, and then I'll have people there as resident volunteers, and then they'll be able to have perhaps up to 3 young people there, supporting them with education, with employment and things like that. Yeah. So.
Okay, that sounds interesting. And you've managed to achieve this since September last year.
So I was very, very close to getting a property. However, I didn't realize that obviously if a business hasn't been running for more than 2 years, you needed to still have regular income. You needed to still prove that, you've got regular income. So what that has meant is that now I'm having to go back into employment. And then obviously, hopefully, I think they wanted like 3 months worth of pay slip. So then with that, I'll be able to now provide what they're requiring, and then I'll be able to get my first property. But yes, I have already viewed property, and so hopefully by some point in this year, I'll be able to acquire my first property. I have already been interviewed by Sari. I mean, they did this even before, because it's something I've wanted to do. So they've already interviewed me, and they're just waiting for me to have
The
somewhere.
3 months, the
Yeah.
proof.
Yeah.
The proof that you've got a regular income. You're
I
not
know.
going on a dream, but
Yeah.
it sounds like your dream's coming true anyway.
I believe so. I believe my dream is coming true. And also one of the things, like I said, I love doing is cooking, which again, I used to cook and take food to work, and my colleagues would be like, "Oh, Milly, oh, that's really nice." I don't know if you know about chapatis. Have you heard of chapatis?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So I am a chapati queen.
Oh.
Yes.
And she's in Surrey.
And I'm in Surrey, so there you go. You might, you never know. You can place your orders after this, So again, with my cooking venture, I was very, I've been quite fortunate. I mean, COVID did happen, and I when I say this, I'm reminded that not everybody made it. So I have to be quite compassionate when I say this, that obviously it did come, it affected, but it also opened other avenues for majority of people.
Yeah.
And I am very grateful. I mean, I'm so grateful to God for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted. I really don't. And so again, with the food business, I've been able to I was supplying food at a place. I'm not going to mention exact place, but I was supplying the food, and it was doing really well. But we didn't have a functional kitchen. So because I was cooking from home, we've decided for me to wait until we get a functional kitchen. Then I'll be able to just go and do that there.
Yeah.
And with the cooking, what I found was really good was that, okay, obviously you start off as one person. And then the next thing I knew is I was needing to employ people. And who did I first of all think of? The young people in care. And I remember one of the young people that I spoke with said to me, "Oh, yes, I'd really like to do it, but I really struggled with anxiety." And I said, "Actually, don't worry, I'll support you with that." And I was able to to speak to another former colleague and ask if she could support this young person to come in and just get to do the hours she can, like just being able to give that platform to someone, and that would hopefully be the breakthrough for them. I mean, this young person has been out of care for the last 2 years, and she's still struggling to get work. So things like that really, really, I think it's really sad.
Yeah.
Really sad. It breaks my heart, actually.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying, is there's not a lot of support, even for young people that haven't gone through traumatic experiences. Because like when we were growing up, there was like a lot of community centers, a lot of social things that they can build on their social interactions and make, and then they had like a lot of, I mean, from previous talks that we've had with people, I hear a lot of people talking about this. Was it the YT?
YTS.
YTS. So there was schemes I would take it. But it's like now everything is, they say there's no money, there's no funding, so these things all get cut. And also I don't know why they think, okay, when we cut money, cut young people, because they are our future who we rely on later on, and you're not providing any uplifting platforms for them. So it's good that people like yourself are trying to create some a space to help develop people in a positive way, young people in a positive way. That's good.
Yes, that is very good. So our Milly, where you've got you're working towards your home, you've been doing your cooking and managed to similar young people that you would like to be in that home. The cooking could be like, they could be your apprentices. You'll keep it, everything is linked.
I know.
Everything is linked. So where are you going to go from there? Like once the dust has settled, so to speak, you've got the property, you've got the children in, you've built up your catering business. I say children, you know what I meant, young people.
Young people, yeah.
Once that dust has settled and you can see where that is going, where are you heading? What's your?
I just keep going. I just keep going. I just keep going. I think there's room to do more. You know, there's room to do more. At the moment, I'm in a stage of my life where I want to live my God-given purpose, you know, and there's nothing better. Like for me, this is so natural. It's just like, as you've seen, it's a lot of things, but they all work together.
Yeah.
You know, so my digital online business has been able to allow all of this to come to place, right? Because otherwise, before, there were things that I really wanted to do, but obviously everything costs you money, and you're just stuck. You're just stuck somewhere with your dreams and frustration, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'll be able to do that, I think for me, I just see myself keep going. I'll keep going, and who knows? You know, I might get another idea.
Yeah.
Let's
not talk about that one. The ideas that keep flowing. Where are you when you find? You know, I'm gonna have to ask this question. Yes, where do your epiphanies hit you the most? Is there like
when you get an idea? Is it like you wake up in the morning, or is it like when you're talking to somebody? When you get the next idea, Milly, where would you say it happens?
I'll tell you what happens. It always happens when I've got my quiet moment. Okay. So what I tend to do now, and this has just been something I've been doing recently, because I'm a people person. I love having people. I love cooking for people. I love hosting. But then what I also found was that if you do too much of that, you actually stop thinking because you're constantly around people.
Yeah.
So what I do every now and again, I hibernate. I actually do. Mm-hmm. And I will do it even if it means like 2-3 days, I'll do that. I love doing it. Sometimes I just check into a hotel, go there, have my books, wake up in the morning, do my prayer, have a whole day where I'm not talking to anybody, I'm thinking. And I don't necessarily have to have anything specific, but that just happens and I come up with something. And I mean, if you tell your dreams to people, they'll stop you from doing it. So I don't actually talk about it anymore. I just go for it now.
Yeah.
I just go for it because I'm like, this is my dream. It's not your dream.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you because you'll be like, but Milly, you're doing this. I said, no, stop. I've been doing too many things in my life. The 20 years that I've had 2, 3, and sometimes 4 jobs. No one stopped me then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why would anybody think of stopping me now? And actually right now.
Because it's your idea. That's why.
Yeah.
It's your idea. All right, ladies, we've got 3 minutes left.
Gosh, I was gonna say, the thing just came up saying 10 minutes. I'm thinking, right, that time went quick. Right. So we've covered where your background, where you're at, where you're going, and we've got your ultimate goal. So is there anything else you'd like to add in there, or do you feel like you've covered most of what you'd like to share at the moment?
I just probably would like to encourage somebody, you know, because you don't know who's going to be watching this. I just want to encourage somebody wherever you are, just never give up. Yeah. Never give up. Like, it doesn't matter how low you feel, you know, what you're going through, because often you'll find it's darkest before dawn. And I'm a strong believer in that because I've actually experienced that. I've been there, I've done it, I've got t-shirts.
Yeah.
Not one t-shirt, I've got t-shirts. So
a
just
wardrobe.
I know, right? Just keep believing in yourself. We are all different people. We have different faiths. So I'm not going to prescribe that on anybody, but whatever you believe in, whichever way you go for it, just do what you have to do and just keep going. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it is all in the mind. It's your mindset. Yeah. So whatever you believe you can achieve, you can achieve it. And actually, you'll be so surprised. Yeah. It doesn't take too much effort. Like for myself, I mean, I've told you about my digital business. I actually don't use too much time in that. I just need to plug in like maybe an hour or 2 a day, and that's it.
So you know, we're gonna have to get you back to actually hear the details of what.
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely have to get her back.
I noticed how you skipped over the fact that you started the digital business, and now the only thing that has prevented you from getting the house is proving that you've got the 3
months.
3 months slips. Otherwise, you would have got the property by now.
Yeah.
By now, I would have actually been having somebody I'm looking after, making a difference in someone's life. But I will still do it.
Of course. Everything has its time scale.
Yeah.
It's not, we have in our head what the time scale we want, but someone else has the time scale in control. Yeah. We just have to work with it.
Absolutely.
We just have to work with it and just say, it's not me, it's you. So yeah. And
can I also give my website if somebody wants to find out a bit more? I don't know. How do I do that?
Well, you give it to us and we add it in the description and also in the editing. But you can say if you
so it's www.millybizzy.com. So that's www.milly.bizzy.com. So if you click that link, and you will be able to find out a bit more, because it's something we need to empower each other. We need to support each other. It's a life-changing opportunity. It's legitimate. And what I know, if you know what I know, you will know actually waste 1 minute. So I'd really like to share that for people to just sort of.
That information will be in the description, and I'll do my best to put it on the screen as well, so that we can get through to millybizzy.com and find out about the digital income as well, that has made her be able to work towards her passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her young people and cooking.
I know.
Don't worry, I can still put petrol in the car. They haven't brought me yet. I can still put petrol in my car and reach. Sorry, don't worry about that one. Anyway, Milly, it's been a pleasure having you. And I look forward to seeing you again and catching up again on your other ventures, and all the best with what you're doing so far.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for providing such an amazing platform for people to sort of reach out and speak out to people, because obviously this again is quite empowering. And I have been watching your interviews, and I've felt quite empowered as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And if, like Milly, you've been watching the program so far and you're enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with other people so that they too can be empowered.
I read the comments, everybody. Comment as well.
Yeah. All right then. Okay. So that's a wrap for us now.
That's a wrap.
All right.
Thank you.